Mr. Mehta?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino? Mr. Shadid? Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Socio?
Here.
Ms. Hutchinson? Mayor Womack?
Here, and I do note that Councilwoman Guadagnino is here. She's outside for a few minutes. Sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publication in the Home News and Tribune on December 2nd, 2024, indicating that the North Brunswick Township Council hold regular meetings on the first and third Monday of each month at 7 p.m. at 710 Herman Road, North Brunswick, and agenda meetings on the second and fourth Monday of the month at the same place at 7 p.m. In the event a regular meeting falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on Tuesday night after said holiday at the same place and hour.
Councilman Davis, would you lead us in the pledge to the flag?
Yes, sir, Mayor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Gallimore, come right up, have a seat. The bill list is your agenda this evening, is that correct?
That's correct, Mayor May.
Does any member of the council have any questions on this evening's bill list? Do you have anything else, Ms. Gallimore?
No, that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gallimore. Mr. Bloyd? How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How about yourself? Good evening, Mayor and Council. I have 4 items.
Giannato Electrical Contracting, amending a
Yeah, the
bid.
first one's an amendment to the contract for Giannato Electrical, provisions of electrical services, electrician services, I'm
And
sorry.
it's necessary to amend it because,
We've had a lot of expenditures that we
So we
didn't
need more
anticipate
electrical
on the
service.
building. Yes.
okay. Questions?
Questions,
Emergency contract with Hunter Truck for repair of a one-armed garbage truck.
Any questions on that one?
Just, you and I were talking earlier, and I know reading in the backup, this occurred somewhere around October 16th, and we're 2 months out. So what was the time frame? And could we have cut any time out of there to try to get it back? Because I know right now, between all the pickups, everything, you're kind of going full force. So having a truck down is kind of a,
Yes, so with 842, one of our one-armed trucks, we sent it to Hunter, who is they're the only dealer for Peterbilt trucks. So we sent it there, and diagnostic testing, their quote was about $4,000. Once they finished the diagnostic testing, it was determined that the DOC and DPF filters were checked and that they needed to be replaced. They're an after-treatment filter, so they had gone bad on us, so we had to incur another cost. So we had them fixing that while it was there. And then the third week, after they had replaced the filters, they went through their processes of diagnosing anything else, and they determined that our turbo had failed and was no good. So at that point, we put our heads together. This was probably mid-November. Myself and Joey, who is our supervisor for maintenance department, we determined that we needed to get it fixed at the place. To bring it back, it would have been too costly. It would have been basically about $1,000 difference. If we fixed it, had to bring it back there, they still had to do some more diagnostics with the computer, which is proprietary, and we couldn't do any of that in-house. They won't give us any of that information, so we just deemed that it was necessary to stay there and get the proper,
once we approve this, how long is it going to take to get it back to
I
us?
say within a week.
All right.
They're just waiting on our PO, and they got the parts, they're ready to go.
So we should have it back before the holidays, don't you think?
I believe so.
Or close?
As long as we get it approved, we can.
It'll be close. All
Yeah,
right,
we
cool.
can get it.
All right. Thanks.
Bids for licensed plumbing services.
Correct. So, kind of along the same lines as our electrician, we're finding that we're coming up with some issues on some old fixtures in our ceilings that they're just not cooperating with the new copper. So we've probably fixed 7 or 8 units already above the ceiling, and we've come in and we've had some leaks, so we had to get those fixed. And we're doing them with the company that's here, which we'd rather not, so that's where we're planning on going out to get a plumber's
So we're taking bids?
service. Yeah.
Okay.
And the last item is authorizing an amendment with the contract with All Risk to provide restoration services of the Municipal Complex Police Wing, change order number 1.
And change order necessitated because,
So we've been taking on, DPW has been taking on some roles that they couldn't get to in a timely fashion, so we started doing them. And so a couple things we picked up from them, so this resulted in us doing the work. And I guess it's like a credit towards our total contract. So it brings us under our original contract.
So the change order is a reduction in what we would be paying All Risk, right?
and while you're
Correct.
sitting here without any, I don't want any super details or anything, but we're moving forward on Sabella Park right now?
Sabella Park, yes, met with two vendors today. I have some samples, that's why I said if I can step out for a minute and go get, I forgot them in my back of my truck.
Okay.
So, yeah, we are, I'm just waiting to hear from Jif, and then that's kind of where the direction we can go in. So, just to touch base on that, the first company we met with, America Turf, they said their lead time is about 2 weeks, and they had the ability to do a visual from the air and kind of copycat that. And that's how they can give us our pricing on that. And the other company is Keystone Sports. They both take part in the Bergen bids. So I think we got the ball rolling in the right direction for that.
Are we able to redo that base in the area affected, or is that going to be done by them, everything?
It'll be soup to nuts. Whatever their price is soup to nuts. They come in, they'll regrade any areas that need to be regraded. They'll laser everything. It'll be just like the day we put it in back in.
Oh, you're talking a total redo? Because I know there was some conversation
I'd
last week that it might be a repairable thing.
I'd prefer to do the whole field.
So do I.
You know, that's a conversation that we can have. I
No, we need to.
think the repairs just it's gonna leave us looking kind of, I like Justine's word there, wonky.
Yeah. that's one way to put
You
it.
know, we're gonna have a new section, and then we're gonna have like the old turf. It's just not gonna look.
No, that's
It's not
good.
gonna look right.
You-
So
You and I have had this conversation
Yeah.
before this happened, so, yeah, good.
So run grab them samples.
I will.
and,
thank you.
Let us
Any
know.
other questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. Mr. Ronald Gordon?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. The clerk's office received a written request for the reinstatement of taxi owner license medallion number 5 from the owner of that license, Miriam Gonzalez, who I believe is here this evening. As you'll recall, our code provides that the only way that these medallion owner licenses can be reinstated is by an action of the governing body. You may also recall that there was some confusion in the last application that we had to reinstate licenses. They included license number 5 wrongfully. We have since adopted a resolution to confirm that license medallion number 5 is available. The written request says that they are willing to pay the owner's license fee for 2024 and 2025. They would still have to go through the process to get any taxis back on the road. And there's also a mercantile license fee that would be required. I believe those are $50 each, $50 for each year. So that's the background. I will turn it over to Ms. Gonzalez so she can tell you why she thinks you should do that.
Mr. Gordon, just quickly.
Sure.
Is this the one that was caught up that almost went to the other?
That is correct.
We found that, thank you.
That is correct.
He's going to interpret for her.
Sure, come on.
Oh, come on up.
Okay.
Pull up another chair. You can both
Yeah.
sit over there.
Thank you.
So first of all, tell us who you are, and then tell us who your interpreter is, so we know who we're talking with.
Primero, ¿quién eres?
Hi, my name is Miriam Gonzalez.
And you are?
My name is Roberto Gonzalez, son of Marianne Gonzalez.
Excellent. What do you want to tell the mayor and council?
¿Qué es lo que les quieres decir?
Que quiero que por favor que me reinstalen el medallón, porque anteriormente pues no me había sido posible por la situación económica, pero ahora estoy dispuesta a pagar lo que tengo que hacer. Lo que hacer.
She wants to say that if she could please be able to reinstate it, the medallions, because she wasn't able to reinstate it because of economic situation, but now she's willing to pay whatever fees it is of 2024 and 2025. That's possible.
Now, allow me to ask this question for both. You said medallions, plural. On our thing, it
Well,
says
medallion.
one.
Yeah,
Okay, I
medallion.
just want to make sure we're all on the same page. And there is no real penalty for her letting it lapse, as long, we just got to get current to where we need to be, right? Which you
That's
said
what we've done in the
24,
past.
25.
Right, so it's discretionary to the governing body. We've had this conversation, that industry has changed. And the owner is requesting your approval to reinstate it. We know that there's issues regarding available taxis on the road in town. Found out today that the last owners that we reinstated their license have not fulfilled what they said they were due, and those taxis are not on the road.
Okay. And if we're to renew it, it would be at the next meeting, obviously.
Yes.
And it's consistent with what we've done in the past. It's not like we're doing something different or,
No, it would be consistent with what you have done in the past. It's a little longer, but procedurally, it's consistent.
And so we're asking her to pay 2024 even though it wasn't used?
Correct, because it has to be continuous.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a new license.
Are there a finite number of licenses?
I would say 10, maybe 12 years ago, we auctioned off the available licenses that the municipality was authorized to issue. Those medallion owner licenses were sold to the highest bidder for each medallion. They were not all the same. But this one was sold to Miss Gonzalez at that auction. And as far as I'm aware, they've met all the requirements up to this year and have had an active license.
So I guess my question is are there people looking to buy them that can't? Or if someone comes, do we just issue like the next number? Or is it only what we have?
We're only issuing what we have.
Right. There are 25 licenses.
Okay.
No one has asked to purchase one. So we're just renewing what's out there.
And of those 25, how many are on the street? In operation, I should say.
Maybe 10. Not yet, not even.
Is that something we need to address?
Not today, not for this application.
Okay.
and just lastly, I mean, I know in the past we've had issues with certain medallion owners, what, Ms. Vargas, right? What's
Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, excuse me, I'm sorry. What, Ms. Gonzalez, her medallion, we haven't had any issues with them or how they operate or.
Not that I'm aware of. If the governing body saw fit to reinstate the license, they'd have to go back through the same process.
Of course.
As the original application, including police department check of the vehicles, making sure that the insurance requirements are met. Before the license could be active on the road, it would have to go through the typical safety inspections and normal procedure.
Being that we've done this in the past, it's consistent with what we've done. There's no one really beating down the door to try to get a new medallion. I don't see why we don't do it.
Anyone else? Any problem?
They have good paperwork, right one, right?
They'll have to show that they have good paperwork, yes.
Tendrías que mostrar que tienes el papeleo todo correcto.
And police checked everything and everything when they get it, they will
The
check.
police will check their licenses and their insurance requirements and their vehicles for safety before they
They
can
start, okay.
go on the road.
Okay.
But you're authorizing the owner's license to be reinstated, provided the fees get paid.
Just real quick, does the financial backgrounds, do we look into the financial background so we,
We do not. It's not a
So-
requirement.
it's not a requirement, so we don't know whether the numbers are there?
It's essentially a private business that operates with municipal consent through the licensing process. They make money at it or not, it's not our concern.
Okay, but Ms. Gonzalez had to stop at one time for financial reasons. That was my question. I was just wondering why.
But she's got to pay to fill the gap
To go.
to get it back, so.
Okay. No problem.
People aren't pounding down the doors.
Yeah. No, I just was wondering,
Any other questions for me? Any other questions for Ms. Gonzalez through Mr. Gonzalez?
We appreciate you all coming. so.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The resolution will be on for the December 16th meeting.
Diciembre
Okay.
16 va a ser la resolución.
Is that all on your agenda?
It is.
That's all. You don't have to stick around unless you want to. We're going to put it on for the next meeting, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
okay?
you. Have a nice
You're
holiday.
welcome. Thank you.
Have a nice holiday.
Thank you.
Is that it for you, Mr. Gordon?
It is. Thank you, Mayor.
The municipal clerk?
Okay, this evening we have a Firemen's Association application on for Fire Company 1. All paperwork is in order. And we have approval of minutes for our workshop meeting of November 25th and approval of minutes for a regular council meeting of December 2nd, 2024. Are there any corrections, revisions, questions? And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you very, very much.
Women's Association.
Were there announcements, Ms. Benson? Yes. Councilman Socio, Kansas?
Yes, yeah.
Kansas Socio, have you got any announcements?
Clicked my ruby slippers and I'm back home. Anyway, okay, so couple of quick announcements. Wrestling season has begun, and the DPRCS program has begun. There are Mondays and Wednesdays practicing at the auxiliary gym at the high school, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This program's open for boys and girls ages kindergarten through 6th grade of all skill levels. It's not too late to register, so please do. If you're interested, and come up to the wrestling room, as we like to call it, at the auxiliary gym and get involved. 'Tis the season to deck the house. Our annual Deck the House contest is in full effect. And we encourage all residents to join the holiday spirit, decorate your home, and have your house entered. The contest is free to enter and open to all residents, and you have to enter by this coming Monday, December 16th. To nominate a house, send a picture of the holiday house to events@northbrunswicknj.gov. Don't forget to include the address of the decorated house. On the night of judging, lights must be on from 5 to 8:30. They're probably on at that time frame anyway. And the Holiday Jolly Crew will email you when the judging will take place. If you haven't done so yet, better hurry up, Santa's busy. Let's get our letters written to Santa Claus, and all children are encouraged to write a letter to Santa. You can drop your letters off in a pre-stamped envelope to our North Pole mailbox located at the Parks Maintenance Facility at the back of Community Park. Santa is in the process of answering everyone who's written and will continue to answer everyone, so please get your letters in by Monday, this coming Monday the 16th. Monday's a big day. But Friday's an even bigger day, because Friday's going to be our first evening and our first weekend of the ice skating rink at Vet Park. So we will be starting this coming weekend, 13th, 14th, 15th. It'll be every weekend between December and the first weekend in March, and we're going to have theme nights theme weekends every Saturday and Sunday. Some of them include pajama jam, superhero sweater, New Year, New You, Disney fun. I guess they'd go on the website to find out what the weekend theme is. Great. Skating Fridays, 5:30 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 6 to 8, Sundays, 3:30 to 5:30, $1 per skater, $3 rentals, and that's weather permitting, and that's all we have.
I think ice skating rink started as a concept from Ms. Guadagnino, and we really appreciate, Luann, you and your department embracing it and making it successful the last couple of years and everything you're looking forward to doing this year. So we appreciate your work on that. Ms. Guadagnino?
In January, there is a free rabies clinic for dogs and cats. All 2024 dog and cat licenses are required to be renewed by January 31st, 2025. This is located at the Department of Public Works, which is 45 Quarry Lane. I didn't hear any of that. Saturday, January 11th, 2025, rabies clinic, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's for dogs and cats. Dogs must be on a leash and cats must be in a carrier. Again, Saturday, January 11th. Snow day is January 12th. Dog and cat licenses will not be available at the clinic. It's just the rabies shots. If you have any questions, please call the municipal clerk's office, Lisa Russo, 732-247-0922, extension 470.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Before we do the consent agenda, anything from you, Councilman Davis?
Yes, sir. The annual menorah lighting ceremony will be December 26th at 6 p.m., be right here at the municipal building. And we're looking for donations for the food bank. And if you do bring those, please no glass and check the expiration dates. And also we'll be collecting new mittens, gloves, and socks. So that's December 26th, 6 p.m., right here. And any questions, you can call 732-247-0922, extension 475. Thank you.
And Councilman Davis, I know Wreaths Across America is this Saturday at Elmwood Cemetery. And what time is that, Lou? Do you remember?
I can verify that. I think it's at 10, but let me check.
Okay, and Wreaths Across America is a very moving and good thing where we remember our veterans and put wreaths on the graves here in North Brunswick. And Elmwood's been a very solid supporter of that. So I hope to see people out there for that.
Is there a group of volunteers that help with that?
Yes, we do have volunteers that do it. The football team has traditionally been a big part of that, and we have volunteers from around town that come in. It's a moving time, and as strange as it is to say, it's really quite fun to be out there and explore and see the graves of the veterans and other people that are buried in Elmwood, some of whom are just fascinating and interesting and all persons that we want to honor.
And they go back, Civil War, graves are there.
Yeah, there's quite a history in North
Yeah.
Brunswick. There really, truly is. Anyone else have any other announcements? I did want to just start the council to thinking that I want to work with the next council president and look at our schedule. Our town code right now requires that we have meetings every Monday, agenda meeting, regular meeting, agenda meeting, regular meeting. And we're an outlier. Most towns now don't have 4 meetings a month. They have a schedule that would permit them to have less meetings, more if they need them. So that's something that we can look at, evaluate, and determine what the council thinks about. Yeah, that's
I
what we're
thought
looking
we
at.
had to have them every week because of the bill list. Is that not true?
we have to approve bill lists with some regularity, right? I don't know what that
Within-
what is,
I'm sorry, within 30 days.
within 30 days of receiving the
Oh, so
bill.
it doesn't have to be every week.
Right, but for example, I think our neighbor to the south, they have an agenda meeting where they take action and they approve the bill list and do whatever else they might need to do on a consent agenda once a month, and then once a month they have a full council meeting, and if there's a need for others, they do it that way. A lot of towns have gone to that model, and we may decide it could work for us, or may decide it doesn't work for us, and we want to stick with what we've got, so
Would that
I
require
just bring it
changing
up.
the code?
Yes.
It would require a change in our town code, which would just be,
We'd have to
an
do that mid-calendar. I mean, by the time that, Mayor, you talk about this, we wouldn't even be able to entertain the first reading of an ordinance till January. So
no, it would have to be, it would have to
we
be
have
next
either
year.
middle of the year or 4/20. It'd be something in the future. It's
Would-
not
You wouldn't be,
something we're doing for right
wouldn't be
now.
starting for January
All right,
1st, that's for
right.
sure. It would take some consideration by the council.
Tony opposes that.
Pardon me?
So Tony opposes that.
I don't know how I feel about it, but didn't we
He does.
do that and
He's the
then
interpreter.
change it because it didn't work? Wasn't that only a few years ago? Right? I mean, I'm not saying one way or the other, I'm just, if I'm remembering correctly, we went to 2 month and it didn't work, so we went back to did we not do that?
Well, we
No?
had some interference with,
They occasionally double.
we did, when we were doing our summer schedule a couple of years ago, when the bill list thing had first come out. And then we had a thing where we were, to pay the bills, we were having a full regular meeting after agenda meetings. And I think then we decided or figured out that we could take action if noticed during an agenda meeting. We didn't have to have a full meeting. And we have different sets of rules for each of that. I think that we've been playing with that over the
Yeah.
last year or two. Oh, thank you, Ms. Benson, thank you very much. Wreaths Across America at Elmwood on December 14th at 12 noon. And like I say, if you have a chance to come, we have a lot of our veterans come out. There's quite a number of volunteers. And they always make it a very fine event. Thank you, Ms. Benson, for finding that. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda item A?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socia?
Yes.
We would ask all the members of the public that are here for the public hearing to get in line behind Mr. Nastas. And Mr. Nastas, why don't you come on up first?
Well, actually, you can't answer any of my questions because Mr. Ritz isn't here.
Probably not. He
So
didn't
that
leave me
takes
any
care of
notes
that,
on
so it's going to be very short. What is the date for 497 George's Road
For the court appearance,
for a court appearance?
Ron, do we have that information?
I do not, Mayor, I'm sorry. I don't handle those court appearances.
But-
And what are
let me
the charges that he's going to be in court for? And is he aware of the fact that the rest of the garage that he tore down half, and the other half just fell on the car that was left there? Generally speaking, when's the cleanup, and is that building habitable? Does it have gas and electric, water? If it doesn't, when does?
Wednesday, there is a, here in the court, there's a, they call it Blue Cares. It's a program for people that have had issues with drugs. Is that correct, Joe? Blue Cares is drugs, and it's people who are able to try to work their way through that rather than have to accept a harsher sentence. And they have their graduation here on Wednesday at noon, I think. If you can meet me around right after that, Tony, if you're in the area, we can, since I have to be here for that, so we can go over to the court, to the window, and have them pull up that case, and we can
This
look through it.
Wednesday?
Yes, sir. And I probably won't get here till around 12:30, something like that, so.
Fine. Appreciate it. Thank
Sure
you.
thing. Thank you, sir. Any other member of the public? Is there a motion to close that public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And is there a motion to adjourn this evening?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Everybody have a good night.